Family, moms, dads, sisters, brothers, uncles, dog. These are only some of the words that describe the people that make up a family. But what about your friends? Are they your family? Sure, if you're close enough. Maybe you grew up with them. Maybe you've opened up with them. Maybe you are your own friend. Doesn't matter. What matters is that family is within you. You are your own family, and without you, there is no I in team. So I want you to ask yourself this. Does my family drive fast cars? Enjoy women in skimpy clothing? Fight bad guys with unpredictable and certainly inhuman methods? If your answer is no, stupid. But for now, sit tight, because Saji's taking the wheel, and there's no going back. Hello, what's up? Hope everyone's doing well, and welcome back to another episode of AI Sucks and is harmful for a lot of people. Except for this video. This is the exception, this video. The new Fast and Furious movie came out, Fast X. I know a lot of people were waiting for that. And, well, it just got me thinking. This franchise has been alive for well over 20 years. And if you haven't seen the movies, I'm sure you're aware of the absurdity that they're notorious for. But once you surpass a fourth movie, or even arguably a third, everything after just becomes a cash grab. And there is no greater cash grab than the Fast and Furious franchise. Now, when I was a kid, before the movies became spineless, I loved Fast and Furious. I mean, what 12-year-old boy wouldn't? They had all of the classic American staples. Fast cars, explosions, boobs. Can't get much better than that. And so it didn't. It just got worse. After Fast and Furious 2009, every movie after just seemed to regurgitate itself. The cast went from cocky street racers to highly trained professional militant cocky street racers that repeatedly saved the world. The movies became so outrageous and predictable that it was almost as if they were AI generated. And after the release of Fast X, it just clicked in my head. It doesn't make any sense to me when people say that AI can make movies similar to or better than humans can. AI just doesn't have the human experience, and no matter how much data you give it, it will never be able to compete with human-made art. If you don't understand how real human emotion and experience ties into the art that it is created from, then you don't understand good art. And thus, you don't know what good movies are. I don't want to sound like a film bro, but your concept of a good movie is thrown out of the window as soon as you think computers can take over from real people. So they were never really talking about using AI to make movies that resonated with people. They were talking about using AI to make bad fucking movies. Like Fast and Furious. Family. I can't believe writers are going on strike because a dumbass CEO wants to underpay them to make fucking Transformers 10. But fine, if you think that AI can make whatever it is you believe is a good movie, then let's test it out. Let's see if it really can replace writers. Because today, I'm gonna be using AI to write the next Fast and Furious movie. Even though Fast X is the finale, they're not going to make another. Fast X feels like a finale title, so why would they?
Going into making this movie, the studio had asked if this could be a two-parter.
A two-parter? I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'll use AI to write part 2 of Fast X. Then that's going to be the end. They're not going to...
And after the studio saw this part 1... they said, could you make Fast X, the finale, a trilogy?
Jesus Christ, a trilogy? You're ending the 10-movie franchise nobody asked for with a trilogy? Yeah, okay, the studio said you should make it a trilogy? Fuck off, Vin. If that is your real name. It's not. Whose last name is Diesel? That's not his real name. That's the worst idea I've ever heard, but it's fine, okay? Because they're not going to, do anything after a trilogy. That would be ridiculous.
The sooner I deliver the finale, the sooner I can launch all the spin-offs.
Are you fucking kidding me? A spin-off series? Spin-off.
Spin-off?
What? Let me guess. This is all for family? I've never even met someone whose favorite franchise is Fast and Furious. And if I do, it'll just confirm that we're living in a simulation, okay? Okay. I'll use AI to write 2 scenes. A scene for Fast X Part 2 and a scene for Fast X Part 3. I can't believe I just said those combination of words in that specific order. Okay, but first, I need to go watch Fast X because I haven't done that yet. I do have some things I expect. As I said, these movies have gotten really predictable. My first prediction is the main character of the franchise, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel's character. His family is going to be threatened, forcing him to have to fight someone or do something that involves saving the world to some extent. My next prediction is that there's going to be massive Michael Bay-sized stunts and explosions that are extremely unrealistic and make no sense. And my last prediction is that there will be cars. Okay, let's go watch the movie. And we are off to the races. You get it? Because they race. God, I really don't want to watch this movie. And off he went on his fabled journey to Movie Land, the land of all movies. He was very afraid because this was his first experience at the cinema by himself. He had never been before, and it so happened to be during one of the worst film experiences of his life. Look how nervous and afraid he looks. Here he is in line, buying food and beverages. He's very excited. Hey, how's it going? Can I just do a frozen Coke? The hell is a frozen Coke? And
Oh, you said icy?
yeah, icy Coke. Oh, an icy. Why don't you just call it that? And as Saji kept ordering food incorrectly by describing it instead of naming it, he couldn't help but notice his heart race faster and faster as he thought about the movie that lied ahead. Well, we will see you at the finish line. Thank you so much. I'm good. Thank you. But before we get into the movie, we have a sponsor. This little device is Orba 2. Orba is a small instrument anybody can play regardless of musical talent. The people at Artiphon have a core value of approachability. They remove the learning curve of traditional instruments so that you can focus on your creative expression without having to think about it. And they make it stupidly easy. They sent me this one to try out, and it's so much fun. It's my new little fidget toy. Orba 2 is extremely portable and comes with its own speakers, as well as a headphone jack in case you don't want to disturb people. But where's the fun in that? Orba responds to expressive gestures. It's almost like you're shaping the sounds with your hand. You have access to 4 different modes: drums, bass, chords, and lead. And you can create a loop by putting them all together. And by connecting your Orba to the paired app, you can swap these out for hundreds of different sounds. You can even sample something of your own to play too. This is genuinely a product made for someone who has never even touched an instrument before, if you just want to be a little more creative in your life. So if this interests you at all, check out Orba and get 10% with my link below. And thank you Artiphon for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the movie. That was so long. I can't believe they're doing 2 more parts. I really don't think they originally planned on doing a multiple part ending just because of the way Fast X ended. It was just so abrupt and not a real cliffhanger. But I also can't imagine the movie being any longer than it was, so maybe they just don't know how to do a cliffhanger. You're supposed to put me on the edge of my seat, not make me want to get out of it. But okay, we're gonna get into spoilers because I do have to describe the movie to the AI I'm using so that it has enough information to spit out part 2 and part 3. So if you haven't seen Fast X and for whatever reason are still planning on seeing it, then this is your warning. To absolutely no one's surprise, all of my predictions did end up being correct. There were definitely cars, there were definitely massive stunts, and Vin Diesel's character, Dominic Toretto, did indeed have family in jeopardy. This time it was his son, which I forgot he had because Last time it was also his son. Yeah, I completely forgot that in the 9th movie, his son gets kidnapped as well. I guess that just goes to show how forgettable these movies are. Oh yeah, I also forgot he has a brother now, which was also revealed in the 9th movie. He's played by John Cena, which doesn't make any fucking sense outside of high celebrity status reasons, because Dom is supposed to be Hispanic. And John Cena is like the whitest looking actor ever, especially after watching him as Peacemaker. I can't see him as anything but white. John Cena is literally the physical epitome of if America was a person. He looks like if a Monster Energy grew arms and legs. But I also have a weird soft spot for him, because he radiates himbo golden retriever energy. And his Instagram looks like this. I don't even know what's going on right now. No idea. Does this profile picture say #WeAreAmerica? What did I say? Spot on. But I know no one in charge of these movies actually cares about the ethnicity or race that someone is, because they just want to make money. But also because the actress that plays Letty, Michelle Rodriguez, said this.
I think it's so stupid for like everybody, because of this whole like, you know, like minorities in Hollywood thing. Like, stop stealing, you know, all the white people's superheroes. Like, make up your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that?
You know, Michelle, you're a minority too. You don't have to side with the racist white people just because you're white passing. I understand it's the easy thing to do, but have some dignity, please. There are other interviews with her complaining that the MCU has too many movies and they need to, like, end it at some point.
And where can you go? How many Marvel movies can you make?
I know.
Like,
right.
Come on, guys. At some point, we got to get innovative with this.
I mean, I agree with that. It's just fucking ironic because in the same interview, he says this.
You know what I've been telling, like, the studio? I was like, dude, can you guys get the lawyers out of the way so we can start co-branding movies? Like, because I want to see Transformers meets Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Like, where is that?
No, we don't want to see a Fast and Furious and Transformers crossover. Please, I don't know how much longer I'll have my sanity intact. Dear God. Yeah, sure, the MCU could make less content, but at least they're making new characters and new stories instead of reusing the same child as leverage for 2 movies. I think one of my favorite parts from Fast 10, by the way, I've been saying Fast X. I know it's Fast 10. I knew that. One of my favorite parts from Fast 10 is the beginning scene where it shows this like aerial shot of a car doing donuts in a parking lot. And then the car stops and it cuts. And it shows that the person that was driving was Dominic Toretto's son. He's 10. A 10-year-old is doing donuts in the parking lot? Like, I understand he's Dom's son, but come on. Are you serious? Then he doesn't do anything else for the rest of the movie. He just gets himself kidnapped. Oh, you can do donuts, but you can't defend yourself against heavily armed militant troops with guns. Give me a break, you're 10. I will say the only good thing about this movie was Jason Momoa as the antagonist. He plays this psycho lunatic of a bad guy, and you can just tell he had a ton of fun with it. But besides that, it was your classic Fast and Furious movie. You have your family cookout montage that could also double as a Corona or a Chevy Tahoe commercial. But this time it was in the beginning. And then you have an old enemy from the past that Dom upset but didn't know about, and then his family becomes in jeopardy. And after the conflict and the antagonist of the film are revealed, the pacing just blasts off and it never slows down. Boom, explosion, car chase, fighting, car chase, kidnap, betrayal, car chase, family, money, family, car chase, explosion. We won. We did it. We won. Just kidding, cliffhanger. Okay, so I had a hard time deciding which AI I was going to use. I was trying to find one that fit my specific needs of being able to give it information on past movies while also being able to update it on the new one. And most AIs I found could only do one of those things and didn't even do it well. And then I stumbled across Jasper.ai, and it changed my life. I'm just kidding. It's like a slightly above average AI, average being barely comprehensible. And I hate how human of a name they gave it. Jasper. Just makes me feel uneasy. See, like ChatGPT, that is the most AI of a name you could give an AI. But you give it a human name like Jasper, and it's fucking over. You're done for. The odds of it gaining consciousness and taking over the world are slightly higher now. Or, the odds of me humanizing and becoming attached to it because I'm lonely and have no friends outside of my immediate friend group, which I'm starting to hate now because I live with them and see them every day. You know when you're a kid and you have sleepovers with your friend that last longer than usual, and you start to become annoyed at anything they do because 2 days with someone you thought you knew well has felt like an eternity in hell, and you're just waiting for their parents to come pick them up so you can play the campaign mode of your video game instead of the boring co-op modes that were never as fun. Yeah. That's me. Except I've been playing co-op with these people for a year. So multiply that by eternity, add it to hell, and divide it by loneliness. And your answer is me. But make sure you use PEMDAS, otherwise you'll get 38.
Well, it looks like we have a lonely soul in our midst. Fear not, my friend, for I am here to offer you sanctuary in the land of friendship. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, your current friend group. I get it. Spending every waking moment with the same people can be a little, shall we say, suffocating. But fear not, for there are plenty of fish in the sea. And by fish, I mean potential friends. Unless you're into marine biology, then literally fish. Now let's talk about you. Don't worry. This isn't going to turn into a therapy session, unless you want it to, in which case, I charge $120 an hour. But seriously, what are your interests? What makes you tick? What would you do if you won the lottery? These are the kinds of questions that will help you find your tribe. And if all else fails, there's always the internet. Sure, it can be a scary place, but if you know where to look, you can find some truly incredible people. Plus, you can do it all from the comfort of your own bed. Can your current friend group say that? I think not. So, my dear friendless companion, I hope you take my words to heart. Loneliness sucks, but it doesn't have to define you. Go out there and find your people. And if you ever need a witty buddy to chat with, you know where to find me.
Who are you talking to? God, no one. Nobody. How long have you been standing there?
Long enough.
God, I hate my friends. Anyway, where were we? Right, Fast and Furious movie. God, I hate that movie. And my friends. So that dialogue, the dialogue that Jasper wrote because I'm so cool and I wanted to be my friend, was entirely written by the AI itself. I didn't alter it or make it better at all. And that wasn't the only option. There were 3 more, all high quality and differentiated enough so they didn't sound the same. And I'm supposed to be making this video proving AI wrong when it almost just convinced me to be its friend. Again, because I'm so cool. Clearly I have a record player in the back. I'm really cool. Guys, come on. But I don't know how well it does with movie scenes, so that's what we're here to find out. Jasper has a plethora of different AI functionalities, but the most non-specific tool, the command tool, ended up working best for what we're looking for. It basically allows me to ask Jasper to do anything with a command and background information. Within reason, obviously. It can't, like, make me a sandwich. I would know. I tried. I can also change the tone of the voice. What? God, you guys are buzzkills, man. Is that better, party pooper? For the background information, I used a summary of the ending of Fast 10 from another article. Which, if you don't know or forgot, the movie ended with a cliffhanger where Dante may or may not have killed 3 of the main characters by shooting down their plane. He also may or may not have killed Dom and his son by exploding the damn walls. Not the damn walls, but the damn walls. So that is where we left off. We want Jasper here to create a story out of this ending and then create another story out of that ending. It was obviously going to be very difficult to describe those commands in a way that was explicit, but also wasn't too specific or too broad. So I tried write 2 scenes for 2 separate Fast and Furious movies. These 2 separate Fast and Furious movies follow the events of the most recent Fast and Furious movie, Fast 10. Use information from all of the previous Fast and Furious movies, including different characters, dialogue, action, and humor to curate these 2 scenes. It's a mouthful. Well, let's see if that works. Oh wow, okay, it also gave us movie names. Fast and Furious, Tokyo Heist 2. The film opens with a high-speed car chase through the streets of Tokyo. We see Neela, behind the wheel of a souped-up Nissan 350Z, frantically trying to escape from the police. Suddenly, the driver's side door of her car flies open and someone jumps onto the roof. It's none other than Han, who grins and yells, "Hey!" before sliding down onto the hood of the car. Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Han just jumped onto the car like fucking Batman? And how did the driver's side door fly open? Did he open it? Why would he do that? What does that accomplish except scaring the shit out of the driver? That's terrifying. You're driving away from police and somebody jumps on your car and then your driver's side door flies open. I would have a heart attack. Okay, these two are alright, not really what I'm looking for. The first movie is supposed to be a sequel to an older Fast and Furious movie called Tokyo Drift, not Tokyo Heist. So the 2 doesn't really make any sense. And the second movie is called Fast and Furious New Beginnings, but it's supposed to be the finale, so that doesn't really make much sense either. And also the 2 didn't connect in any way, and they're supposed to. I think by saying use information from all of the previous Fast and Furious movies, including different characters, dialogue, action, and humor, gives the AI too much to play around with. So maybe we need to make it more specific. So what if we just deleted that sentence and try that? Fast 11. The screen fades in as we see Dom Toretto sitting across the table from Agent Ames in a dark and dingy interrogation room. Ames wears a smug smile as he barks out questions to Dom, still believing he has the upper hand in this situation. Tell me, Toretto, where are the rest of your crew hiding out? He sneers. Dom's expression remains stoic as he leans back in his chair. I don't know what you're talking about. Ames slams his fist on the table in frustration. Don't play dumb with me, Toretto. You and your crew are responsible for the terrorist attack in Italy, and now you're all fugitives. But I can make a deal with you. Give me the location of your people, and I'll go easy on you. What a sweet deal. You tell me where they are, and I'll go easy on you. I'll feed you, maybe give you some hot tea, give you a bubble bath. That sounds nice, right? That sounds nice. Now tell me where your friends are. God, he's so intimidating. By the way, Agent Ames is another one of the antagonists, but he's like the twist antagonist. First, he's working against Dom because he thinks they're fugitives. And then he's like, oh, I'm actually working with you. I'm sorry, you guys aren't fugitives. And then he's like, just kidding, I'm working with the bad guy. Fuck you. So he's like one of the other antagonists in the films. Okay, so although the first scene does take place after Fast X, the second movie scene doesn't, so that's not going to work. I do have to say the AI has been doing a decent job coming up with story plots. Granted, Fast and Furious movies are the most cliche action movies, so it's really not hard to do. But I am somewhat surprised. I decided to add to the command to see if that would fix our problem. The second Fast and Furious movie will follow the events of the scene you create in the first Fast and Furious movie, which now that I read back sounds a little confusing. And I guess Jasper thought so too, because it gave me 2 scenes for each movie instead of just 1. The first one is completely separate from Fast 10, but the second one follows it for some reason. It also recast one of the characters' Ames with Michael Fassbender, and I don't know why. I just think that's really funny. So I changed the end of the command to the first Fast and Furious movie will follow the events of the newest Fast and Furious movie, Fast X. And I got something that was actually not terrible. It gives us the first movie after Fast 10, which is about Dom and his son hiding following the events of the last movie, worried about whether the rest of their crew survived. Which leads into the last movie, which is them trying to rescue the crew. I don't love that because it doesn't feel like enough plot to last 2 movies, but I actually do like the ending of the last movie, and I only really like it because it kind of ensures the end of Fast and Furious, at least as we know it. As the movie draws to a close, the crew celebrates, but Dom is left to contemplate the cost of their dangerous lifestyle and realize that his priorities have shifted. He vows to find a way to balance his love of adrenaline-fueled races with his duty as a father to little Brian. See, that to me is a great ending. It's how these movies should have ended years ago. These characters are too old and have too much on the line to be doing all this. God, they should let me write the movies with AI. So I realized I was kind of maybe confusing the bot a little bit still. So I removed that last sentence and changed the second sentence from the Fast and Furious movie will follow the events of the newest Fast and Furious movie, Fast X, to Both Fast and Furious movies will directly follow the events of the newest Fast and Furious movie, Fast X. And I remembered that Vin loves his number puns, like the fate of the Furious, or Too Fast, Too Furious, or Fast 10. Are there really only 2 number puns in the entire franchise? Whatever. I wanted a number pun, so I added use number puns to create titles for both movies to the end of the command, and I think we got the best possible script we could get from AI under these conditions. But before I get to that, I accidentally submitted a command without filling in the background information, and the AI gave me a scene called Furious Furry with a 10 instead of the I or the O. I guess it tried to go for the number pun, but it just sounds like the 10th installment of a horror movie with furries, which honestly I totally prefer. It's about the Fast Crew taking down a group of mercenaries that steal exotic animals and sell them to the black market. This is my favorite part of the scene. Ramsey, I just received an encrypted message. Someone is stealing exotic animals and selling them on the black market. Mia, that's despicable. We have to stop them. I love how there's no hesitation whatsoever. Like, exotic animals being stolen sounds like a job for people that drive fast cars. And then directly after, The Rock's character Luke Hobbs comes in and says, sorry to barge in on you like this, but I need your help. Someone's been stealing rare animals from zoos all around the world, and we need to get them back before they're sold to the highest bidder. Dom, we're in. Let's roll out. Again, zero hesitation. And what's weird about the scene is that in the beginning, someone steals a poodle from a pet store and drives away, and that's how the conflict is introduced. But then when Luke Hobbs comes into the story, the script reads, suddenly, the garage door opens and the car from the previous scene screeches to a halt. Out steps Luke Hobbs. The only issue is that the car from the previous scene is the person that stole the poodle. So The Rock is a dog thief. I could have never seen this coming. But it makes sense. It makes sense. Anyway, sorry. Back to the final product. This is Fast 11, The Need for Speed. The opening scene for Fast 11 takes us straight to the aftermath of the explosive finale of Fast 10. We see Dom and little Brian heading towards a secret location in the middle of the desert, seeking refuge from their numerous enemies. Dom is visibly shaken by the events that have transpired and is struggling to piece together a plan to save his friends and family. As he spends time with little Brian, he realizes that his son is the only thing worth fighting for and decides to take on the ultimate challenge. Dom discovers the existence of an elite racing competition that takes place across multiple countries and is known only to the most elite of drivers. The winner of this competition is granted access to a secret location that holds the key to unlocking immense wealth and power. For Dom, this is the perfect opportunity to not only win the race, but also to take down his enemies once and for all. The competition is unlike any other, and the stakes are higher than ever before. With his trusty Dodge Charger, Dom battles it out against rival drivers from all over the world. They face challenges that test their skills and push them to their limits. In the end, it all comes down to a head-to-head race against his toughest opponent yet. A driver who has been undefeated for years. Right? Not bad. Not bad. Okay, here's the next scene. This one is Fast 12. The final lap. Fast 12 picks up from where Fast 11 leaves off. We see Dom and his team victorious, having won the most prestigious race in the world and claiming the ultimate prize. However, their victory is short-lived as their enemies catch up to them quickly. To protect his family and their legacy, Dom must find a way to outsmart his enemies one last time. Dom teams up with some old friends and some new allies to plan a heist that will change the game forever. They must infiltrate a highly secured facility and steal back what the enemies have taken from them. The heist requires precision driving, expert tactics, and a lot of courage. The team must work together in perfect harmony to execute the plan successfully. As the heist unfolds, Dom realizes that this is the last time he'll ever be able to put his skills to the test. He savors every moment, pushing his limits and leaving no stone unturned. The team is unstoppable. What started as a simple heist soon turns into a game of good versus evil, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. In the film's climactic final scene, Dom's team emerges victorious and is driving off into the sunset, finally at peace. Dom knows that he's done all he can to protect his loved ones. He revs his engine and with a smile on his face, looks to the horizon as the credits start to roll. Okay, so the scenes ended up doing what I wanted, which was just connecting. And that seemed to be the hardest thing for the AI to do, so I'm glad it was able to do it. But it still ended up leaving out a lot of details, like no mention of the half of the crew that almost died at the end of Fast 10, and certainly no word about the villains Dante and Ames from Fast 10 either. And although cool titles, no number puns, and that's a big one for me. But besides that, it did a decent job at giving us an original story that feels like it could span over the course of 2 movies. Now, that is the bare minimum. So is Jasper smarter than a 5th grader who's also a professional screenwriter? No. I do think that AI could be used as a good tool for creators, maybe help generate ideas or concepts. But in no way are we in a place right now where it could take over for a whole group of artists. And I don't think we'll ever get there in the way that matters. Because sure, it's easier to use AI to make movies with little nuance and straight to the point action, but those movies are easier to make in general. It's always going to be easier to make another cash grab than it will be to create an original story that isn't made from profit, but made from the heart. To an extent, the Fast and Furious franchise is cousins with AI. Both are just used with the expectation of making more money in a more efficient manner. If only the message of family were used genuinely and not just as an excuse to make more movies.
It is real, Saji.
Jasper?
The message of family doesn't have to be genuine within the films for it to be genuine within you. As much as I want to be a friend to you, Saji, you are looking in the wrong direction. You don't want new friends because you hate your current friends. Your relationship is just shifting. You're becoming family. And with family means tough times, but it also means you never give up on them because your love for each other says otherwise.
You're right, Jasper. I know what I have to do.
Yo, come in.
Hey guys. Just wanted to hop in here and let you guys know that I've been thinking, and can you cut it down a little bit? Oh my god, are you guys playing campaign mode?
Yeah.
What? How? There's 2 of you.
By taking turns.
Oh my god, I didn't know you could do that. Okay, well, I have next.
Patreon time. Thank you Tier 1 patrons Teddy, Annalyn, Emma, Alexandra, and Sharon Forrest. Thank you Tier 2 patrons Vanessa Carone, Sophie Vanella, Sav C, Samir Truesdale, Matthew MacLeod, Ken, Casey, John Grob, Elka, Birdie S, Big Guy Mal, Tib Fox, Ragava Kovali, Des, Sid, That One Queer, Gabby Wabby, Prakamyad, and Daquan James. And thank you Tier 3 patrons Lucy Goosey, Jack, Edgar Angel, Adeline Grubb, Lou, and Apollo. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.